What up, YouTube? How are ya? I come today with a video regarding ghosting versus mosting. The problem with casual sex isn't new. It's not a new problem. I mean, it's gone on for, generation after generation and whatever, decade after decade and whatever. And it's not a unique type of situation that we can pinpoint anything that's different than it was before. Besides the fact is that they finally came up with names to call them instead of just one night stands. There's a new trend that is even worse than ghosting, and that is mosting. Ghosting is when a prospective partner completely vanishes after a series of dates, and mosting is the prospective partner lays it on thick. They are telling you how wonderful you are, how much they are into you. You're their soulmate, and you have this connection, and they just really lay it on thick, kind of like love bombing. But what it is that once they start to feel something towards you or towards that person, they distance themselves because they don't want to. They can't handle feeling any feelings for you. So instead of continuing on with what was going on and they pretty much do a ghosting act on you. Besides, what makes it worse, mosting compared to ghosting, is that they made you really feel like you had a great connection, that you were the one, that that you were going to have this great relationship, and then they leave you because they develop feelings. So people with avoidant attachment styles hold fast to their fantasies about their ideal relationships. And when they don't find the perfect person, they just get rid of them. I mean, they don't even give them time to even, really get to know them or anything like that. They just get rid of you because they have this fantasy of what they think that your relationship should be like, or the way that you should be. And when you don't fill those, spots, they're like, well, whatever, I'm moving on to the next. Well, they go through a lot of people because there's just no one that can fill everyone's fantasies and expectations and whatever. So, mosters are actually doing you a favor by doing what they do, because of the fact is that they need to come to terms with their own, whatever their issues are that are making them be the way they are, and they don't have anything to really offer you because of that fact, because they need to figure themselves out before they could be ever, be able to give anybody else, something that would be worthwhile and, something that you would want to be connected to, I guess. What should you do if you notice that you're falling for somebody like this? Just remind yourself that all the flattery is not normal. I mean, it isn't. And then also, there's no sex or connection that is that good to make you want to put up with this. So you need to remind yourself those things. People that are the mosters, or the people ghosting people, all the time might want to be upfront with these people. Just be upfront with them. Just say, hey, I just want casual sex. I don't want any, no attachment. Don't call me, or whatever, whatever your scenario is. But just be upfront. It takes a bigger person to be an adult than it does to be someone that hurts people and isn't man enough or woman enough to admit what you really want. I mean, it's that easy. That's all it takes. When you really think about mosting and ghosting people, it isn't, or it is a real cowardly act. And like I just said, if you know that that's all you are looking for, that's all you are wanting is just somebody to have a fling with, just be honest with them. Because the thing is what I don't understand why people don't do that nowadays. Because of the fact is that sex is so, everybody's fucking everybody. I mean, everybody's having sex with everybody. And it's just like nobody even looks at it as a connection or anything besides hey, I can go sleep with everybody in town. I'll make my way through, and then I can cut back through and back through and whatever else. Oh, there's somebody new in town. Well, I'll get with them too. And that's, everybody has the right to do that. Everybody has their own opinions when it comes to that. Me personally, I just don't agree with that, but that's me. I just don't have to sleep with everybody to make myself feel good, or to fill a void in my life, or to boost my ego, because I can boost my own ego by loving myself. Here are some trends that are here now in the 2020 that they have named and defined to what each one of them means. It's quite comical, and honestly, there's no way in hell that any of this stuff I would ever do. No way. So maybe in my younger days, I was a little bit more sexual active, but not. As we get older, I would hope that most people do too, and you aren't wanting all this stuff. It just seems like so much drama and so much of a hassle, and just so unfulfilling that why do it? I don't see what people get out of this. I just really do not understand. So if you can explain it to me, please do make a comment and fill me in, because I'm lost. The first one is back burner, and that's when you are in a relationship, but you keep your ex just kind of dangling on, because you want to make sure that if your new relationship doesn't work, that your ex will be there. That's okay. Breadcrumbing, engaging with a person, romantic match, just enough to keep them dangling, like with flirty texts and that type of stuff. You have no desire or no need to actually go meet them or actually be with them, but you want them there just to kind of, so you can throw them little breadcrumbs and whatever, I guess it feeds your ego, or I don't know what kind of term I'm trying to say. Whatever it fulfills within you, but you don't. The thing is you need to think about the person that you're doing that to. I wonder, I'm like, what is wrong with people? You don't ever think about anyone else except yourself, and that's just not the way that we are supposed to be. It's not the way that the universe wants us to be, and that sure in the hell isn't giving you good karma, I'll tell you that. The next one is catfishing, which we all know what catfishing is. And if you don't, then watch the TV series. Emotional affairs, that's when you are having your emotional needs fulfilled by someone outside of your relationship, marriage, so on. And because of your partner isn't fulfilling those. Fuckboy, that's when a younger man is sleeping with people but has no intention to actually pursue a relationship with anyone that he's sleeping with. A fuck buddy, we all know what that is. You're fucking your friend and whatever else. It doesn't even have to be your friend, I guess. Ghosting, I went over that. Half night stands is when people come over and have sex, and then when you're done, they get up and go home. I don't think that should be pursued. Everyone that does that should be kind of looked down upon, because I've done that before, and it was because I had to go home and take care of my daughter, and it was far from what I really wanted to do, but that was the most responsible thing to do. So I don't think that one's here or there. And it's not just because I did it. I still would have thought the same thing. Love bombing, common tactic among narcissists. They're charming. They're lavish you with gifts. They take you away on these romantic trips, and only to give you the cold shoulder later. And I've been through that. I was married to a couple narcissists, and that's, no matter what you do, they give you the cold shoulder and treat you like shit, because they just can't. They think they can. Nudes, people sending nude pictures. I'll kind of touch base with what I think of that in just a minute. Raw dogging is what it's called, and that's when you are having sex with no condoms. Well, that's great if that's what you decide to do. I'm not going to go over all that, because we all know what happens, if you don't use one, or it could happen. Stashing is when you almost make a relationship official, but you don't introduce that person to your friends, your family. You don't claim them on social media. anything like that, which is, I don't know, crazy. Then they have, it's called Tinned Stag Romance. And that's when someone sneaks into your Instagram DMS after you don't match them on not Facebook, on Tinder. Like, so when you don't match their picture, they'll sneak into your Instagram and do shit in there, which is crazy. Lastly, it is more common for people to video sex without someone's knowledge. You're having all this casual sex. How many people are videotaping it? Do you know? How many people are doing that, and then they post them on porn sites and all these revenge sites because they're pissed off at you, like say your exes or your, whomever, or these strangers that you're going home to, with to have sex with, and they're literally videoing it, showing all their friends, and then posting it on some porn site. I had personal experience with that, I think, and whoa, I can't imagine doing that to anyone. I just cannot. I can't imagine doing half this shit to people because I'm just not that type of person. But I worry about the karma I'm going to receive in return, because karma's a fucking bitch, and it's going to bite every one of your asses if you're doing this. And it's not going to just be one go round. It's going to be for every person that you have done this to. The universe is always watching us. They're always taking notes. And the universe has its own justice outside of earthly, justice. And people don't realize that, or they don't take it serious. No matter what religion you are, or what your beliefs are, if you're spiritual, or if you're, you don't believe in God or whatever, it doesn't matter, because they hand down the punishment that they see fit for every one of our actions. For the way that we treat people is a huge punishment. I mean, if you're treating these people like they don't matter, they don't have feelings, you can imagine all the people that are devastated and crying and just feel horrible about themselves and whatever else, and you just don't give a shit because you moved on to the next Joe Blow. Well, good for you, but no, it's just not over. Let me see here. This could be... And then I went on to say, oh, I know what I was going to say. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. This is extremely against the law. Posting anything that someone did not did not give you permission to. It's extremely against the law to video anyone that has not given you permission to video them. And it's the punishment, it's pretty harsh. So you might want to consider that stuff too. Also, this can ruin a person's life. They could be a top dog at their job, and you videotape them one night and you get pissed, or you do it because you're a sleazeball that just thinks that you can do whatever the fuck you want to people, and then you post it online, and their job or their boss sees it, they could lose their job. Well, then what comes along with that? You lose your house. Your family doesn't get fed, on and on and on. Also, it could just destroy their reputation. People could just perceive them in a completely horrible light, or in a light that isn't even really how they are. They went home with you, or you guys had gone on a couple dates, they had sex with you, and you videoed it, but they didn't know it, but their friends and family and, all the people that love to gossip in each and, every town, find out about it. They just perceive, or they just think, well, yeah, of course she was loving it. She loved being videotaped, and she said okay, and you're not thinking of anyone besides yourself. That's selfish. All this is selfish, and to be selfish isn't a very good thing, because the karma for selfish is even worse. So remember that too. And plus, people need to be kind, gentle, understanding, patient, loving, and honest and respectful to other human beings. But we don't get that very much anymore. Definitely not. Right now, ghosting is one of the biggest reasons for mental health issues in this country right now. It is causing I didn't get the percentage or any of that, but I read about it, and it is almost within probably the top 5 of reasons why people have anxiety, have stress, have depression. Well, and actually, and then here it says, according to an April 2017, I'm sorry, I cannot talk. I don't know what's up with my throat chakra. Report drawn from a survey by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, an estimated 8.3 million American adults, or 3.4% of the population, suffer from serious mental health problems, anxiety, depression, stress. While some point to economic factors as the origin of these collective pains, it suggests that other variables have added to our failing well-being as well. We're failing as our well-being as humans. They look at it as we're failing, and we pretty much are. I mean, you can be one of those people that are like, she's just ridiculous. Oh my God, she can't get laid. That's her problem. And or she's just some religious freak, or whatever you want to say about me. I don't give a shit, because you're wrong. I mean, I've been a wild person. I've done some stupid shit in my life. I've made some bad decisions, but I don't continue to do that because, for one thing, I'm a fucking adult, and I don't have to be that way. But also because I respect myself enough to not have to go out and sleep with everybody to feel like I am good enough, or to feel like I'm needed or wanted. It's just, I don't need to do that. And I'm not saying people that do it are horrible people and they're wrong and whatever else. I'm not saying that. That's just how I am. So, and I hope I'm raising my daughter not to be that way also, because there's just no need to be that way at all. So, 2007 marked the introduction of the iPhone. Social media became a much larger platform of expression as people could carry their social lives in the palm of their hand. The rise of outlets like Snapchat offers a great example of the potential for heartless engagements. It is almost as if an individual's social life has become a video game. According to the NHS data in the UK, social media is a large component of poor mental health among girls aged 17 and under. So us parents need to be paying attention to this. Online activity has become a feeding ground for sadness, discontent, and low self-esteem or no self-esteem whatsoever. And the influence of social media just keeps growing. The average internet user spends 5 years and 4 months of his or her life on social media. But only 1 year, 3 months socializing in person with people. That's sickening. That is just an absolutely almost sickening thought. So we are not connecting with others as we did back in the day because of all the technology. So most people are not learning that how to connect with other people as much as we need to, besides in school or, and we wonder why there's so many issues in school nowadays, why kids get bullied even more than they used to, even though the schools are supposed to have this anti-bullying shit, which they don't. Anyways, here's some ideas of what you can do to kind of step away from your technology and all that stuff. First off is, instead of texting, call, so at least you can have the interaction of each other's voice. Speak in person. Get off your phone when people are around. Make your kids have a set time for and limit, for when they can use their phones, how long they can use their phones. Make them get off of it and go outside and play. Make them get off of it and clean their damn room, whatever it is. That says, and then also stop letting them take their phones to school. There's no reason that these kids need to take their phones to school. We all survived without phones for how long? We all made it through childhood, and all through all that shit without having phones. Because all it does is distract them at school, They can spread gossip, faster and easier, and and whatever else. They're sending nude pictures. I'm lucky enough that my daughter's honest. She shows me what her friends are doing. She tells me, and it is fucking horrifying. I mean, thank God that I have a relationship with my daughter that she does feel comfortable enough on telling me exactly what she does. The first time she ever had sex, she didn't have to tell me. It was funny because she was gone, and well, it's not funny because I don't find it funny, but I already knew when she got home the next day because, I'm psychic. So that definitely makes a world of a difference when you're dealing with anything in life. And now that my psychic abilities are so strong, I can pretty much do and see anything I want. So, anyways, also as adults, we need to have limits. We need to, when we get home from work, we need to put those damn phones away and spend time with our kids, spend time with our families. We need to have more interaction with the people around us because we're not any less guilty than our children are. So that's the bad thing too. So society needs to just put the damn phones down. It just almost drives you crazy. Make a list of people that have ghosted you and clean it up. It's your responsibility to clean up your own mess because you also created that mess too. Regain control over your social media usage. Look people in the eye as you're interacting with them, talking to them. Then also when you're checking out at a grocery store, Walmart, wherever, look at that clerk and say, thank you so much for, all your hard work, or thank you for whatever. We need to show people appreciation. We need to be kind. We need to be more, vocal in nice ways, not so many mean ways, and then, create no phone zones. Say if you're in the living room, there's no phones allowed in here, or dinner table, like at my house, no way. And then, the best way to teach empathy is to be empathetic. So that's something that everybody needs to think of. It is so easy to lock ourselves in a bubble, but human connection relies on real human beings. Try to use social media responsibly, as it is important to make us feel better about ourselves and our surroundings. And then my very last thing, I'm going to ask you one question, and that is, what are you going to do tonight? I hope that you enjoyed this information. I'm sure that some of you didn't, but I thought it was important that I brought those two things to our attention. I want to say one more thing. How would we feel, or how do we feel when this happens to our children? That some guy or some girl does this to your daughter or your son. How do we feel when somebody's done this to us? Ask yourself, what are you actually getting out of having multiple encounters with people? You're not being satisfied, and you can't lie to me, and I hope that you can't lie to yourself, because it's not giving you what you are looking for. Casual sex is here or there, but when you are doing it and you are hurting people in the process of it, that's when it becomes wrong. When you cannot be woman enough or man enough to look at the person that you're about ready to share your body with and be honest, that's where it's wrong. Okay, sounds good. Well, no, that doesn't sound good, but my video did. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Much love, light, peace, happiness, no ghosting, no mosting, and much love. Peace.